So first of all, after the setup of the national strategy on AI for humanity, we observe that a few proof of concept go to industrialization. So for helping industry as Thales or as Renault, the French government set up a huge program called the Grand Challenge of Trustworthy AI, in French, the Grand Défi National de l'IA de Confiance, where this huge challenge is based on three main pillars. The first one is a technological pillar where you have Confiance.ai, and we will focus deeply after. The second one is a pillar dedicated to how to evaluate, assess in the operational exploitation. And the third pillar is the normative pillar in order to have a common strategy in France dedicated to standard normalization and regulation. And we will also have the afternoon dedicated on that topics. So for that, Confiance.ai was born in order to help industrial partners, industrial companies, to have and to develop methods and tools and workbench in order to speed up the insertion of AI in critical systems. So thanks to the French government, we set up Confiance.ai, where Confiance.ai is dedicated to cover all AI discipline from data-driven AI, and you see around the exhibition a lot of outcomes dedicated to data-driven AI, but in the coming months, we will also address knowledge-based AI and hybrid AI in order to revisit all the engineering activities from data engineering, and you have a dedicated village on that, knowledge engineering, algorithm engineering, and so on, through also safety and security engineering, because we address safety critical system. And the main goal is to apply that on a lot of domains, such as automotive, aeronautics, and so on. So the consortium and the partners are in the picture. You have all the logo of the partners, and it's a very collective and amazing, if I may, project. For that, we address three main phases of Trustworthy. The first one is technological, and you will have also a presentation dedicated on that, and how to characterize Trustworthy. So technology handle accuracy, handle reliability, handle robustness, of course, and so on. And you have also robustness and monitoring village. We address also interaction, because all our system, all our system, we have most of time a human in the loop. So we need to address interaction between the end user, the auditor, the designer of the systems. So the main topic is about explainability and interpretability. And we address also all ethics, but for the moment it is not the main topic addressed today. And this topic handles some scientific challenges. The first one is to design an end-to-end engineering approach in order to demonstrate, prove that the system is trustable. So we need to develop methods and tools to address that. You have a village dedicated to that. We address also trust with the human interaction. And we address a lot of work on how to trust on the machine learning, on data approach, and my advice is to visit the village dedicated to data, from data to operational design domain. So the program is structured by 7 projects. So yesterday, for people who were here, there was a focus on the outcome of the 7 projects. In fact, the one project is dedicated more to handle data and knowledge engineering. Another project is to address how to design AI-based components where such components are trustable as design by design. Sorry. The third one is dedicated to how to assess and evaluate such kind of component and to demonstrate that we can trust about that. The fourth one is dedicated to how to embed the component in real systems and to deal with all the trade-off about embedding and accuracy or other type of issue. And then you have 3 projects, more on system engineering. One where we develop some assurance case approach in order to prove and to demonstrate that we are compliant with some trust properties. Another one dedicated to the overall methods process to address such kind of end-to-end life cycle development. And the last one, but not the least, is the workbench itself, what we call the Confiance.ai framework or the Confiance environment. For that, the project is scheduled through batches. The first batches was more dedicated to machine learning and on image and video or time series. We address a lot of use cases, and Rodolphe will describe some of them. And you have all the outcome of the first 2 batches. The second batches was dedicated to enlarge the scope of AI to address some issue on symbolic AI and to enlarge also the data, taking into account text, audio, and so on. So mainly natural language processing. And last but not least, we will address in the coming months some use cases dedicated to hybrid AI, so mixing a few type of AI approach. We address high criticality in order to go through critical systems. And to do that,
thank you, Juliette. I'm Rodolphe GELIN from Renault, and this year I have the chance to head the steering committee of the project. And I'm in charge of the use cases as well. And the interest of the batches also is to have tools provided all along the project and not only at the end. Something we were afraid of is to wait for 4 years to have tools and that we can use. And we really wanted to have these batches for each year, having first tools that can be applied and evaluated in our companies. So as Juliette says, the project is based on use cases. Each partner, industrial partner, is expected to bring a use case. And the use case is an application of AI. So it comes with the data that were used for training when we talk about data-based AI, the algorithms themselves, the models, and those are the networks, and a trustworthy problem. Okay, my system works, but nobody, the people in charge of quality, the audit, the safety audit, doesn't agree to embed it in a real system. So that is what we call a use case. So here you have a list of the use case we are currently dealing with. I will start with probably the most popular of them is the welding use case. It's a very simple use case. It's on the top in the middle. You have a picture of a welding, and the AI system is supposed to say, is the welding correct or not? That's quite simple with supervision, but with supervised learning. But the point is, it's very difficult to convince the quality engineers that our AI is trustworthy enough to assist for critical welding a human being. So that is so we have to provide tools, method, demonstration, scoring to explain and to convince people that this AI is reliable enough. So we have so this is mainly it's a vision application, computer vision application of AI. As you can see, we have another one with Thales with aerial pictures. So same kind of application. You detect either car or trucks or buildings or maybe planes and so on. And of course you need some kind of confidence in the scoring and in the detection. So before having this system integrated and used every day in the industrial process of Thales, we need guarantees about the functioning of this. Air Liquide brought a use case about time series. It's something that we all have to deal with. Time series are values coming from many sensors, and either you have to predict the next output. For instance, to predict the future demands of customers for Air Liquide. Or you will, in this time series, you will detect anomalies, and that is a very, very tricky question of how to avoid false positive, for instance, how to guarantee that you won't have false positive or false negatives in anomaly detection. So on time series, we have plenty of use cases coming from all the partners, as you can see on the grid. And two maybe a little bit different use cases. A really recent one is about natural language processing. Here, Renault bring a use case where you have Google reviews. Customers saying, okay, I like the Renault very much. It's really beautiful and so on. So we have to deal with all these compliments. No, but of course, sometimes we have some bad remarks, but really rarely. So we have to deal with that and how to detect very accurately some minor trouble that could be major troubles. So that's what we need to be very confident in this natural language processing system. And a last one I would like to mention is the one of Airbus. In this is a regulation system. Maybe I'm too long? Okay. It's a regulation system in aerial domain where you probably know or don't, that to be sure of the safety of flying drones, in this particular case, you have big tables saying if your drone is at such a distance of another, if the direction of each drone is this one, if the altitude that, then this is what each drone should do. So, but it's a big table and it's validated by aerial authorities. So it's like like a Bible for these people. But of course, these tables are so big, so huge that it's very difficult to embed them and to run them in real time. So the solution that Airbus proposed is to replace this table by a neural network that learns all the outputs and then will give the answer much faster than scanning and all the table. Of course, this network replacing a table should be validated because we are talking about safety measurement. And so we are working on tools proving that the network works exactly and gives exactly the same results as the Bible we use. The system is supposed, as Juliette says, to provide a process and a global environment to develop your system. So you come at the very beginning with your use case, and then the system will lead you saying, okay, you have this use case, so analyze it, analyze the domain of operation, and this is the kind of data you are supposed to collect, and this is the quality of the data. So you have all the process coming from the use case up to the production of the software and the evaluation and the monitoring, because something that is very different. Of course, this is what you can meet in the software engineering, classical software engineering, but in the AI system, you have, I would say, two main differences. When you're a database, you have to engineer the data. That's why we have this village about the data processing that is brand new compared to the classical software. And then you have to monitor the output. Monitor first because the AI is not always as reliable as classical software, and because the data could evolve and you can have drift in the environment. For instance, you have new objects coming in the surrounding of a car, you have a lightning condition, or your sensor is getting old, so the data are changing a little bit. We are supposed to monitor that to be sure that the data we use for training are still up to date and useful. So this is all the process we propose to assist a developer, an MLOps, what we call MLOps, the MLOps cycle, to be sure that he brings all the quality and the guarantee he has to provide for such a critical system. And today, we have this, on the previous slide, you have the main global framework, and here is the current instantiation. It means after the batch one, we had first tools that will be implemented in this global framework, and all these bricks can be used either with all the environment, so you can download all the environment at your premise and use them, or if you have already your MLOps system, you pick up some tools that you're missing, and you include them in your own MLOps system. This is, once again, very important for us. We need, as industrial, operational tools that we can use every day in our development cycles. So as an example, this is a catalog we have. When you have access to our wiki, you can see the list of all the tools and methods that have been developed and that are provided. Some of them are still under development, some are already available, some have been tested outside the project, and we can follow the maturity of each or modules by thanks to this catalog. Something we are very proud of, and Juliette mentioned it at the beginning of the project, and on the top left for you of the screen, you see the original partners, big companies that were contacted by Julien to build this project. But after a while, we say, okay, we cannot do everything by ourselves. We need other labs, we need other startups, and we need other partners like AFNOR. And then we build this ecosystem of Confiance, because once again, even if we have the best solution in our project, if nobody is using it, if nobody knows it, it's useless. So that's why this project, as a snowball, is supposed to aggregate more and more partners, academic and industrial partners, and institutional partners too, to be sure that it will be applied and become a standard. Our dream is that what we product become a standard. As a short, just internally at Renault, when I said to the people, you have to use the tools that we provide at Confiance.ai, they say, yes, that's nice, but if it's not standard, I don't have to. So make this as a standard, then I will use your tools. Either it's nice, okay, I have nice tools to demonstrate the safety of but if it doesn't fit with the standard, it's useless. So that's why it's so important for us to have this second pillar connected with us to be as close as possible to standards. And that's precisely like the last slide, the next slide. So this is so important for us that we have many connections, and we really rely on Julien to be sure that we move on these topics. So I'll finish with the key figures. It's a project for 4 years. Originally, we had 9 industrial partners, but as you can see, we have plenty of startups coming with us. 7 projects, more than 300 people involved. Of course, we don't have 300 people full-time, but we have 300 people that are connected partly or mostly of their time to the project. 2 sites, Toulouse and Saclay. And this is a 45 million euro project. It's a big project. 15 million comes from industrial partners, bringing money and people. And Julien, thank you to him, bring us the 30 million we need to complete.